Hello there, and welcome to the Critical Minds on Union Television. I am Onyinye Eslafo, your host, and we're still talking about the impact of artificial intelligence on youth development. Last week, we began this episode, and I told you we'll be back for a part two. Here we are today. We've talked about the importance of AI and how it is shaping the world, as well as what we need AI for. Like our speaker has always said, AI is something we cannot do without. AI is progressive and we need to meet up. We talked about ChatGPT, we talked about quick response, we've talked about the way AI can help us in getting job done fast. AI is assistive according to him. And I am glad Philip is still here with us. Hi Philip.
All right, thank you.
And we're going to be continuing this conversation because there's still a lot to talk about. We're talking about having too much information
Yeah,
and it's making it difficult for us to make decisions. And that's true because when you have too much options, you cannot decide. But I don't know why you don't seem to agree with that, though.
when you have too much options, it helps your decision
It
better.
helps you not to decide because you don't know what
You
to
know,
choose.
I think I think it's a fundamental thing about humans is when you have different options, you have opportunities to look into which one fits into your which one solves your problem better, right? So it's actually antithetical, right? It's the opposite. That's actually the truth because when I have lots of data, I have a wider perspective of what's happening. Let me give you a practical scenario. Um, you're a review, yes. So many of the reviews you see out there, those 5 star on product and stuff. If you get um, if you get 5 people give you a review of 4 stars out of 5, and then you have 200 people give you 3 out of 5, which one is more genuine?
Three.
Exactly.
But that's not
Exactly.
that's not the
So
that's not the
that's
context.
no,
No, the context of
that's
what
actually
I'm
the context
saying,
because
because when we have just
Mhm.
like this product, A product, B product, there are plenty, and you're going to choose from it because all of them are doing the same thing.
Mhm.
So 5 star on one particular product is still one, but you have 5 star on five particular products. Am I how would you now want to choose?
No. I think that's not that's. I don't think that's like an ideal perspective because if you have forget the stars about products. If you have 5 products that are similar things, it is always at the discretion of the user to choose what works. When you understand the problem you are trying to solve, you look into each of the products. You have the discretion to choose one out of many. That's standard on any form across any sector, banking, insurance. The way life is, the way trade happens in Lagos is you always have options,
That's it. Because the
multiple options.
decisions you're
It's not
making are
about
not.
artificial intelligence.
We're talking about artificial intelligence, and you people are using data to create a lot of things. So
Yeah,
you say with this data now, it will help you to make informed decision.
yeah.
So it's not just having enough data because you know these things too
hmm
much. They're just everywhere, and it's difficult for you to pick from one because
No,
all of them are good, right? So how would you pick? It's either you have impulse buying, or you're
now
confused.
let's get practical. So like you understand like very well. Let's get practical. Um, Give me a practical scenario of too much data
Too much data.
in a company.
Not the company, in
Okay.
companies. let me
hmm
let me use something
Give
that
me
is
give
very
me a practical
practical.
scenario.
I don't have to use tech. I don't have to use tech, right? So let's say food. So it's something what everyone can relate with, food. And then this is jollof rice, ABCDEFGHIJK, and your supervisor is one person,
hmm
and they make very good jollof rice.
hmm
It's going to be difficult for you to just come and say, I'm eating jollof D
hmm
or I'm eating jollof X.
hmm
They are all jollof rice. It's either you're buying part of A, part of B, part of Z, that part of E. That's like impulse. You're now buying too much unplanned. It's waste. Or you're now looking around. Hey, which one should? That's when you now be calling people. What do you think? This one looks it's more garnished. But this one too is garnished. Or this one is nice. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
That's confusion already.
I think that's not anything related to artificial intelligence. That's
I
related
didn't use
to,
an artificial
yeah, I get. No,
case.
I'm saying that's a human problem in and of itself. A human problem across any domain. When they have similar options, several options, it is what happens when they have similar options. It is the same thing that happens when they have maybe a lot of AI product options.
That's what we're saying
Yeah,
because
so
when we're
it's not
talking
it's not
about
a that's what I'm
having
driving
too
at.
much,
Sorry, hold on. That's what I'm driving at. When they have too much,
yeah,
it's not a problem of AI companies. It's a fundamental human problem that when they have different options, they think they are confused before they choose one. So what I'm trying to say is it's a human problem and not an AI problem.
and AI is
The
supposed
reason
to
why
assist
the reason
us.
why you are able to use the food as an example attests to the fact that it's all encompassing across several things. It
Okay.
tells you it's a fundamental human problem. So you're trying to say you want to use AI can assist you to make that
AI is
decision.
assistive, and then AI will help make informed decision. So
Yeah,
when you have options, right?
good,
So that's what I'm asking. When we now have a lot of options, because
good.
we're talking about having open your game within the system so that
Yeah.
you're able to um outsmart your competitors and then being on top. Now you're doing it, your competitor is also doing it, other people are doing, so we have a lot of it.
Mm-hmm.
And we've talked about people learning and then wanting to act on things, implementing stuff. So this whole information it's out, or these products they're out there, they are a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you decide?
You decide by looking at your problem. Like your problem is peculiar to you. Now look at your problem. Look at how you want to solve your problem. Then look at every of those options. Which one is much more precise and tailored towards the problem I want to solve? That's how you make your choice. Like it's not that far fetched.
And if there are 10 of them,
If there are 10 of them and they're the same thing, just pick one. That's
how?
that's a
That's
fundamental
where the
human
problem
problem.
is.
The issue of choice for AI products is not a problem of AI. That's what I'm emphasizing. Issue of choice is a fundamental human problem, right? If you want to, for example, you have a product you want to use for maybe your problem, you can actually ask ChatGPT.
Okay.
This is the problem we're having at hand, right? These are the options we have, and these are the features of the options we have. Which one do you think is best? It will give you a very good response.
Now, don't you think the decision is going to be taken with bias because it's going to be giving you answer based on probably what this company already has about their product or the information they're
Mm,
putting out, not from the user.
it's not biased because what was it trained with? Like I told you, it's only as good as what it is trained with. It was trained with real human interactions, data, scrapped websites, Twitter pages of real human interactions. So whatever it's citing out is the general perspective of people, not a biased perspective. So it's limited to what it was trained with. It's not anything related to bias. There's nobody at the back feeding that prefer this than this. No.
Okay, so you want me to believe that anything I'm getting from it, it's more authentic.
It's authentic. It's authentic. That's the idea. If it's not authentic, they won't sell anything. That's the goal. To be authentic. To make the same decision a rational human being would make. That's the goal.
Okay, so it's really been a great time, and I'm sure everyone listening is having questions. We're not answering all your questions, we know, but let us know in the comment what you think about this conversation so far. We've talked about data, we've talked about how data will help help make informed decision, like he's saying. So when you're confused on something, because I know too much information can make you confused, and we have more people learning tech, developing new things, using AI, producing stuff for us to consume. And he is now seeing that it's assisting us and we are to make decisions on our own. But if we cannot make decisions, ChatGPT can help us make this
AI
decision.
models generally.
Oh,
AI models generally. If you
okay.
think you have too much data that you can't understand, the goal is, I mean, normally you're not supposed to understand too much data.
Yes, that's
Yeah,
the confusion I'm
conventionally,
talking about.
you can't expect yourself, for example, you're a company that processes, let's say Netflix, company that processes zettabytes of data, petabytes of data. You cannot understand it. You have to build an AI system, an AI model, and analytics that would do this thing for you, right? You can't be the one doing these things because they've surpassed your cap, right? Your reasoning capabilities, right? But then you need a sophisticated system that can process this large amount of data, right, and make insightful decisions from it. And then you can see the decisions yourself and then make practical actions based on them. So that's the idea. When you have lots of data, the human cannot comprehend it, right? It's too much. How many years do you want to spend on it, right? So you leverage on AI tools and analytics to process those data and generate insights from them, and then from there you can make inferences and practical actions to take. Yeah,
So the information that is processed by AI tool, though you're using to make
informed
practical,
decisions.
informed decisions, or you're using to make decisions. So it's when you've tested if it works, then that means you really made a good decision.
Yeah,
So what if it
yeah.
doesn't work?
It has to work. It's a product. It has to work. It's built to work. That's I don't think that's a discussion. Like it's built to work. Whatever product you see out there
No,
is built to
we
work.
are no, we're not talking about the product, whether it's going to give you good answers or
Whether it's gonna work for what you're
yes.
doing.
No,
It
it will work for what you're doing. But then there's an action part where you're going to now take this information to act on it
yeah.
practically. So, like sometimes when you have something on paper, it's not the same as reality.
Yeah.
So when you've collected this thing
Hmm.
and then you're putting it into work, you're acting on it, and it's not corresponding.
Okay.
So where would you want to trace the challenge from? Because I want to believe this tool did a thorough research
Okay.
to have arrived at this um, the feedback I got from it, and then me putting it to work,
Okay.
and it's not tallying.
Okay. So like I said, artificial intelligence is an assistive tech, right? It cannot solve all your problems. It can only give you insight to a particular level. And that's why it's progressive, where engineers are aiming to build much more sophisticated systems that would make much more informed, better, precise decisions. So if you're at any point where, you use an AI model analytics that predicted something and then it didn't practically work, right? It happens. It happens. It's an assistive tech. It's supposed to help you to a certain level, to the level it was built to help you for, right? So at that point in time, it doesn't work. You take up your human initiative to fix things. But every tool built to process data, natively built to process that data, returns an actionable insight. So it really just depends on how you carry it out. That's it's there are diverse approach to it. There is how you carry it out. How did you carry it out? It only give you actionable insight. It didn't tell you what next to do. So there are different AI systems that tell you. Some tell you what next to do. Some tell you the insights to take. You know where you can use your personal human initiative at several levels. Okay, what it's telling me to do, how practical is it? Then okay, let me now take step towards this. What it's telling me to do, it's not practical. And then I know, okay, I don't think this works in my own opinion, right? Then you can use your own normal, like human rational perspective towards it. So the whole goal is this actually also emphasizes the fact that it's an assistive technology. It's not the all-round best man, right? Use it for what you need it to use it for, what you need to use it for. If it solves that problem, fine. If it doesn't solve that problem, step into it with your human rational initiative and fix the problem.
So, we're talking about artificial intelligence and not leaving out the human part of it, because no matter what tech tool you're using and how you're trying to work with it, you still need you to be able to get it done rightly. So, how do you think people be able to use tech, AI tools, and even be more accurate using it?
All right, so
What knowledge do they need?
it boils down to there are courses out there that deals with how to use these tools for whatever problem they're encountering. So you have, for example, ChatGPT, like I mentioned. You can leverage that. You have other open-ended models, right? That helps you do other things, slides and presentations, and faster than ever, right? So that's it. There are lots of courses out there. There are lots of many of these platforms themselves have a learning section on how to use their products for whatever problem yourself or your company is encountering at the moment, right? So that's what I think about that. Um, However, at levels, we are fostering STEM and creative skills amongst um, teenagers and youth. Um, so majorly, we're not just an academy where we train technical skills. We train all around practical skills around tech, around creativity, around artificial intelligence. And one of the major things we're doing also is we're making AI education easily accessible to teenagers and young folks, especially in the UK. And one very practical, um, a practical wing we ride on is the fact that it's a fast-paced world, like I mentioned, where um, the future of work is more or less highly dependent on artificial intelligence, right? One of the best ways to empower your children or your teenagers is to get them on board as soon as they can, right? From age 7, 8, being early is actually far better because it gives them a lot of edge ahead of their peers, right? And in the competitive world. And now it's not all about age, it's about your skill, it's about what you can do, right? And you don't want them to miss an opportunity of being at the forefront of innovations and all of those things. And just a few years back when Excel was a thing, right? It was people were using Excel. I mean, special people were using Excel had
It's
access
not
to
for
it.
everyone. I mean, not
Now,
everybody can understand how to use it.
now, almost everybody uses Excel spreadsheet, right? It's a fundamental skill to know how to
Yes,
use a Word
Microsoft
document
Excel.
and Microsoft Excel and stuff, right? So that's the same way AI and other technical skills are becoming. They're becoming much more inclusive skills. Every fundamental person, or fundamental student, or young folk has to have, right, to survive the future of work and the things to come. So yeah, it's a good head start for your teenagers and young folks. Get them started early, give them a competitive advantage because the future of work happens to be a very competitive space, right? You want to apply, they're telling you, you're looking at the job requirements, telling you proficiency in this and this and this and this. And many of these things are not in our conventional institutions, right? So we are that institution that infuses practical technical skills, that real world case scenario. What is happening in the world? What is happening? How do you build a company? What is MVP? We put them through that practical process. So not just technical skills, put them through practical process of building a company. And trust me, it's a gem of knowledge to know at that particular level. So by the time they're growing, they have all of this perspective in check, and they can actually make much more informed decisions around their career path and stuff based on the skill set they've acquired. So that's like strictly what we do at Levers, basically.
Thank you for staying with us. This is Union Television, and we have this conversation, and we will be bringing you more insightful and educative conversations on the critical minds. So, to avoid missing out on any of this content, will encourage you. I am encouraging you and asking you subscribe to our YouTube channel and also follow us across all our social media platforms. And until I see you again, keep watching Union Television. I am Onyinye Lofo, your host. Bye for now.